Wearing my Brazil shirt. It is the World Cup today. Anyway, gonna talk about UFC 174, a recap. I know it was a couple days ago, but I've been busy. Sorry. Anyway, okay, let's go over some of the fights. First one, I'm gonna go over the girl fight. Valerie against Elizabeth. I can't say Valerie's last name. She's French Canadian. Elizabeth's last name was Phillips, and it was a brutal fight. I think it was. They both looked great, tough as nails. There was plenty of action back and forth. Um, Valerie got hurt in the first round with a looked like an overhand right. Just puffed her eye right up, the left eye, so she could barely see. But she came back just banging, combinations moving. Um, Elizabeth kept coming forward, but it was a clear cut decision for Valerie, probably 2 rounds to one. Good fight. It showed that just how tough the girls are, but it also showed that Valerie and Elizabeth super tough, but they are definitely a step below, the Misha Tates and the Ronda Rousey crowd. That whole group right up there. They're a little below. They need some more fights to catch up, but definitely tough as nails. Then we had Ovens Saint Pro. I can't say his last name. Fought Ryan Jimbo. It looked like Ryan Jimbo had his movement, lateral movement. Quick lighting up, quick combinations, getting out of the way of the takedown. But then he stood in front of Ovens while he was coming forward. Ovens was coming forward, and he threw a sloppy body kick. I mean, it wasn't even a high, a percentage of a knockout or really hurting him, but he just threw it out there, and Owens caught it, took him down, and submitted him in a couple minutes or a minute, whatever. But it just seemed like if Ryan didn't do that and he stayed on his feet, moving, lateral movement, it seemed like he was doing great. But then he stood there and just threw a sloppy kick while Owens was coming in, and the fight was over. Okay, Arlovsky against Brendan Schaub. Not a really action-packed fight, kind of boring, back and forth. Looked like Arlovsky was content to get Brendan against the cage and just hold him there. It just, not much action. I thought Brendan won a close decision. The judges gave it to Arlovsky, but it wasn't that huge of a decision discrepancy, but I definitely thought Brendan did enough to win, barely. Ryan Bader against Rafael Cavalcante showed a lot of skill for Bader. Bader came out with better hands, better takedowns. Won the first and second just hands down with his takedowns and his punching. But then the last round, Cavalcante came out, with a sense of urgency. And he just started landing, but it wasn't enough, and Bader got him down again. But it looks like Cavalcante, if he did that in the first round, it looked like it would have been a different fight. I mean, it looked like he had it in the third round. It went back and forth close enough where, why didn't you do that in the first round? Because you could have won the third round. That was really close. And it looks like you had the recipe to do a lot better than you did. But in the first and second, he just kind of covered up and got taken down and didn't really do anything. Almost like he was scared to get tired. So that was that fight. And then we had Rory McDonald against Tyrone Woodley. I thought Tyrone would win. But Rory McDonald just had a perfect game plan, perfect execution. Just kept him at the end of his jab and his long straight combinations, and just kept him against the cage almost the whole fight. Just lighting him up with combinations, and Tyrone just couldn't get off. That's what she said. But it looked like you just kept waiting for Tyrone to pull the trigger, and he didn't. And for Rory McDonald's, to his credit, he probably had a lot to do with that. And he even got a beautiful takedown at the, he got a couple good takedowns, Rory. It was a one-sided fight. I just don't think Tyrone showed his full potential. That's what I think. But then again, there's others that could say Rory just showed how good he really is. So it was not an action packed fight, but it was a great performance by Rory. Um, and the last fight, the main event, Demetrius Johnson against Ali, whatever, Bagatinov, Russian guy. Another great performance by Demetrius. Wasn't close at all. A little closer than the Tyrone Rory fight because there was some power swinging and power punches thrown by Ali. Nothing really connected. Demetrius got I think the tie clinch was it. I think that was the main reason he won. He got him in a tie clinch, I don't know, dozens of times throughout the 5 rounds and just landed some solid knees. And then, took, used that into takedowns, to combinations. He just looked unbelievable. His speed was unbelievable. His movement and his tie clinches, I think, won the fight for him. He even, he would even, do a tie clinch to a shot, to a combination. He just flowed. It was a work of art. So great night of fights. UFC 174. Great matchmaking, great fights. There was some good prelims too, which I didn't really talk about because I don't have time. But showed that Rory will probably be fighting for the title again, and Demetrius will probably be holding on to his for a while. Ryan Bader is definitely a threat in the 205 class. Those two girls are tough as nails, Valerie and Elizabeth Phillips. Tough as nails, but not in the class that the Ronda and Misha are. I think it showed that, and then also showed that Ovince St. Preux has unbelievable power, and that Ryan Jimbo, if he didn't make that one mistake, fight would have been different. Anyway, thanks for coming. Thanks for being part of the pit, and please comment on this video.